How did you do the lightsaber sound? What? How did you do the lightsaber sound? Every time I walk into a room. Hey guys. Let's get some house lights for a second. I want to be able to see people's faces. Anybody with the house lights? Look at that. Wow. All right, come on. Kill the house lights. Kill the house lights. Welcome. Who are our first timers now that the house lights are back? All right. Welcome to our. We're so sorry. For Sebastian. Sebastian, are you here? Is he here somewhere? All right, sorry for Sebastian. We love him. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and...
Oh, let's have some more ado.
All right, let's have a do. Let's go ahead and talk to some people who have been dying to ask some questions. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I asked a question of Jared this morning, so I'd like to ask a question of Jared. I already got you. My question is, Dean is supposed to be so macho, but he cries more than anybody else. And I remembered your story about how you ate accidentally and then you, for a scene, and then it turns out now you have to eat forever. Is it the same sort of thing? Did you cry so pretty the first time that they always make you cry now?
I am a victim of my talents. Yeah, you know, I'm glad you asked that question. Because there's a few of the brass in the room, actually. We have a writer, maybe a producer or two, and you know, it is true. Dean is a tough guy. Why does he cry? This is ridiculous. You know, I think I probably shot myself in the foot when the single tear came down the face. As if I could do that on call. You can't. The stars aligned, it happened, and now I think I can do it all the time. It sucks. This is my life as Dean Winchester. See, that's how I really cry. It's not the stoic, Steve, you know, the one tear. It's really. Jesse's crying against snot and spit and projectile. You know, it's not really good to cry. Answer your question. I'm all emotional. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm gonna stop laughing now. I had heard some rumors about Jeffrey Dean Morgan wanting to come back on the show somehow, some way to vindicate John Winchester. Because over the years, he's been kind of seen as like not there, deadbeat dad, and he promises some stuff Tina said in the series. And I'm wondering, not only your thoughts on that, but if Jeffrey did come back as John in some capacity, how would that be to vindicate like he was really the father and not like, you know, a deadbeat dad that he promises?
Go ahead.
I'll figure that out.
You're saying, is he this morning? No, what if John came back and how would it change the dynamic of the relationship and how would it be, we would, you know, jump right into the...
Because I heard rumors that Jeffrey Dean Morgan didn't like how John was starting to be portrayed over the seasons as a father that really wasn't there, didn't care about his sons, always on the for Bobby, and all this stuff, and he wants to come back and kind of vindicate why that didn't happen.
Yeah, I also heard a rumor that I was married to somebody else that's not my wife, too. So I wouldn't believe everything you read or hear. I don't know that is true. I still talk to Jeff. I think he's very happy with, I mean, he loves the show and he's always said, hey, they figured out a way to bring me back yet. I'm like, Jeff, you're a little busy. You got your own show, you got your own thing going on. Just be happy. He's like, I know, I just love you guys, I love that show.
1 second, I'm going to try and put us a drum. can't do this without you. Oh God, Jerry, come back, please. So many flashlights. I'm back. Anyway, what I was saying. Yeah, I think that if he, given the opportunity, it would happen. But it's, he's got his thing, and the show's going well. And if it came back, that's probably a great dynamic. But is it going to happen? I don't know. Where did you go? I think one of the funny things is that. It almost accidentally happened properly. Like, if Jeffrey didn't get Grey's Anatomy, he probably would have been on more episodes for Metro. But the way it worked out, see, that was it. Yeah, right? Am I crazy? What is it? What is it? What is it?
No, it's not.
No. Speaker? Living in salt. Had he not gotten other jobs, he would have been on more Supernatural. But I think it actually worked out for the better that he wasn't. We all love Jeff. I love Jeff. And I love John Winchester. I love the character. But I think it's better the way it worked out. I personally think so. I think had he been around all the time, we would have detracted from what has now become their story.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Ed.
How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Now that the drumming is now that he's back, I'm good.
I was just wondering if you guys would like. I didn't know it was that part of it.
No. There's like a drumming noise.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's someone playing the drums in the speaker. No, go ahead. Probably Richard Spade back there being an idiot.
I was just wondering if you two were to write, or each of you individually, were to write an episode, what would you have your characters do? Where would you go? What would you hunt?
I would love to write an episode about Dean Winchester. A day in the life of Dean Winchester. Just combing his hair, brushing his teeth, flexing in the mirror, and crying. Yeah, and I would add to that, it was just a day in the life of Dean Winchester on vacation in Hawaii. Lotioning himself, having a little drink out of a coconut thing, getting another drink out of a coconut thing.
I think he's looking for a serious answer.
Yeah, you know what?
Sure.
A serious answer. A serious answer. I talked to this the other day with one of our writers who's here now, visiting set, Robbie. Reveal yourself, Robbie, but not in the way you think. He's somewhere. I can't see. There he is.
He's sitting in my seat.
Ah, there he is. He's hunkering down.
Put your ass back in the writing room. Who the hell let him out? What?
But he asked, I'm selling you out, he asked if I was thinking about like directing or writing or some other part of the business in regards to the show. And I've thought about it. I have cool ideas or I've had stuff I'm interested in, but I don't think I'm interested in writing an episode of the show. Nor do I think I'm necessarily interested in directing an episode of the show. I feel like I really enjoy acting on the show, and I like to kind of focus on that. I don't necessarily have the bug yet to write or direct, me personally. So, but if I did have to write an episode, I'd probably write about Sam on vacation.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, I kind of joined Jared in that sentiment as well. Like I have a lot of respect for the writing and the writers that what they do. And I mean, I feel like it would be the same as asking one of them, like, when are you gonna play a character on the show? There's probably not too many of them that would jump at the opportunity. There's a reason that they're good at what they do, and it's because they're doing it, and there's a reason we do what we do, and it's because this is what we like to do. And I think that as long as there's a nice marriage there between the two, there doesn't need to be a whole lot of crossover.
I'm not suggesting you'd be better. I'm just
well, good, because we wouldn't.
I appreciate that. Very cool, man. Thank you very much. Cheers, man.
Thanks, man. Hi.
Hi. So my question, over the last, all 8 seasons really, especially in the last season, we've seen Sam and Dean at odds a lot. And thankfully, I love the finale, love the way we saw them come back together again like that. However, the question I'm wondering is, when you guys are at odds, we get some really great scenes with Sam and Dean physically fighting each other, which I think I'm not alone in enjoying watching those scenes. And just kind of wondering if maybe you guys would want to walk us through the choreography that goes into one of those scenes at all, or... It's a really, really big bag of gummies for you if you'll do it.
You want us to get into a fight?
Yes.
But then he's going to cry again. I will talk about the way the fight scenes usually go. And for a while, for a few seasons, it's almost as if the fight scenes were written out. It's like, Dean punches this ghost, that then tackles the zombie through here, that then the thing stands up and kicks him in the groin and throws him over a table. And it was written out as if it was going to happen that exact way. But when a fight scene is specifically written out, if it's like a brawl ensues, then it leaves more flexibility when you actually have to go make it into a TV show. Because sometimes there's not necessarily a table in the room that they're supposed to smash through. If you add a table into the room, then that's going to make it less likely that the other scene can be filmed in that room later in the script or earlier in the script. So you kind of have to be able to, we have our stunt coordinator, Lou, I don't know if Lou made it, but between Jens and myself, the director, our stunt coordinator and our stunt guys will try and marry the words on the script with the best possible replication we can to keep the intensity and to keep the purpose. And I think one of the things Kripke said way back in the beginning is he doesn't want this show to be about two kung fu brothers. Like it's not the fighting and fight scenes are part of the show, but it's not a show about fight scenes, you know? They're used to serve a purpose, so we don't need to do 45 minutes of fighting or 15 minutes of talking. You can watch UFC if you want that. This show is more about, the fights have to serve a purpose. It's to subdue a bad guy, or to get through an argument, or to get into a new room, to discover what's there. And so the fight scenes, logistically, might be a little more boring than they come across on camera.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
Nope.
Okay.
He's right behind me.
Hi.
Hi.
So I was wondering, when you guys do like the emotional scenes, how long does it actually take you to get to that place? And has that changed over the 9 years you've been doing the show?
Oh, he can cry. Yeah. 1 second. Exactly 1 second. No, it depends. It depends on, like, for you know what?
Emotional scenes, right? Thanks. Thanks. It really depends on, I guess, the scene and the way it's written. You know, sometimes there's a scene that, you know, the beginning of the scene, you're not emotional, then by the end of the scene, you are emotional. So you've got to find a way to get there within the scene. You know, you can't get into it before they yell action, then you're already emotional when the cameras start rolling and they yell action. You know, that's that would be, that would be easier to do, because then you can just do whatever you put in. You listen to music that gets you emotional, you can think about something that might get you emotional, you can really just kind of get into your own headspace to get you where you need to be when the camera starts rolling. But what's tricky is when you're not emotional in the beginning of the scene and you have to get there within the dialogue. And fortunately, our characters are written very well, and you know, we are so close to not just each other off camera, but we are also close to our characters and how their relationship is on camera. And I think we can very easily tap into the emotion of those characters after doing it for, you know, over 8 seasons. So it definitely has gotten easier to get there, but it's always hard to come back from getting there. That's the difficult part, is to turn it off once it's been turned on.
And also our directors that still come to do the show, we have a couple new ones a year, but for the most part, they've been with the show for a long time and they've done many episodes. And so they know, especially like Bob Singer who's here today, he's directed so many, he knows that we're doing a big. He's sympathetic to the idea that if we're doing a big emotional scene, we can't do it 30 times. And so he makes sure everything's perfect, and I think I see Sarah's over there. Sarah makes sure the lighting's perfect, and there are so many places that go into it so that when it's time to make it happen, hopefully we can make it happen and move on. Because you don't want to sit and cry for 12 hours a day, unless you're Dean. But I actually find, in a funny way, I actually find it easier to go, I think for him he kind of more difficult to go from not crying to crying. I find it easier to build up if the dialogue leads up to it properly. As in, it's not like all of a sudden I'm crying out of nowhere, but if it's a sad moment, like when we did the finale scene, it was so easy to get emotional because there was so much going on. We had a chance to, as Sam and Dean, get into the scene, get into the moment, and get into the fact that it was a very emotionally charged atmosphere. And so for me, that felt pretty easy.
It's called acting.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hi there, how are you?
Lovely.
Good.
Whoa.
Whoa.
We just got like
Drum set.
full monitor here. I feel like we need to plug in a Strat to go to town.
Do it!
Yeah, I'm not going to, so. Hi.
Hi. So my question was actually asked already. It's a crime question. So
All right, next question.
I have to come up
So
with
the crime questions today, guys.
I have another question though because of this.
Okay.
No problem. Well, maybe some crime involved.
Oh my.
Football season is starting. How do you Jared, based on some of your tweets, you are not really confident about Tony Romo.
Whatever gave you that idea? No, I'm not. Are there any other Cowboy fans out there? Are there any Romo fans? Less enthusiastic?
What fans? What? I didn't hear
Tony Romo.
Tony Romo, he's the
Oh, I hate
quarterback.
Tony Romo.
Yeah, me too.
I hate the Cowboys though, so. But also.
Back me up, Cowboy fans. Let's get her. Let's get her. Let's get her.
I'm a Bills fan. We lost a couple of Super
Oh,
Bowls
wow.
to them, so.
Don Beebe,
Yeah, and I'm going to be crying this season as well, so.
I'll be there with you.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
Hi.
Hi.
So you guys entertain and inspire a lot of people, and Jensen, I really like the way you get into directing as well. Who or what inspires you guys?
Not Jensen. There was something on his leg.
I mean, I don't. I think that there is inspiration found constantly. I think that you know, we just find different things daily can inspire you. You know, whether it's a moment with a friend or a family member, whether it's a movie that you're watching, a book you're reading, a TV show, music that you're listening to. I think that I tend to find, you know, if I'm understanding correctly, I tend to find the inspiration that kind of gets me motivated and stuff from all different facets. You know, it can be just a nice little subtle acting direction from Bob Singer. You know, that just motivates the hell out of me. Right, Bob? Right, Bob? What's up? Sometimes he said if you say so. You know, it's hard. I can't see you. It's hard not to find inspiration from this. Jensen.
You always go to meetings.
Inspiration. You know, hey Bob, you know, look, it's a long time on that close-up there. I'm not saying anything. There's a lot of egg yolk just dripping down my face. At what point would you like me to start talking? What? I can't understand you. Okay, so I'll just take my own cue then. That's good. Thanks for the inspiration.
I can't see you. In all seriousness, then we do love to tease about, not going to be up to. I get inspired by real life events, like stuff you see on the news. And what popped in my head when you asked that was the man with the gun at the school in Georgia who ended up not shooting anybody because the bookkeeper said basically, listen, I've gone through some trouble too. Yeah. That's amazing to me. On a very human level, she was able to talk to a guy who was on the brink of doing something very stupid and very hateful, and kind of say, listen, I've been in the dredges too, I've been in a slump too, you know, and she mentioned how she had been suicidal, and she had been going through a breakup, and she talked this guy off the ledge, and no one got hurt, no one got shot, and she was able to, on a human level, do what I think acting at its very best does, but just communicate to somebody else who can say like, oh God, we've all felt like the world's against us. But you know, you put one foot in front of the other and try to get through it. So that's kind of what inspires me.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, sorry for bad English, I'm so nervous.
So he only likes once.
Script for characters, Sam and Dean, what were you thinking?
The very first script ever, or
yeah.
Still? I was really excited. I remember when I heard that, she basically said when we first got the script, and we were reading Supernatural, the pilot, many years ago, what were we thinking? And my part was very excited. I was a fan of the X-Files, and I'm a fan of scary movies and TV shows that are treated real. At the time that I did Supernatural pilot, I was also doing Gilmore Girls, and at the same time, the real Dean.
Really?
But there were shows like Buffy and Angel. And I'm just reading on the show. And while I did enjoy those three shows, particularly the one that network, I didn't want to be a part of a campy show. I wanted to be part of a real, scary, gritty show that could tell the kind of stories that we're telling now, 9 years later. So I was really excited at how they treated it as if it was reality. It really was. Shows like Jones are really fun to kind of go and campy and have a good time. But I wanted to tell a story that we treated like reality, even though very honestly it's not.
When I first got the script, they were trying to cast the role of Sam first. So I actually auditioned for the role of Sam. And in the process, I was reading, it was a scene between Sam and Dean, and they had to start casting. They wanted to get Sam first, and then they were going to cast Dean after that. And so in reading for Sam, I was reading the Dean character, and in the audition, after I finished the read, I was like, listen, The character that cries a lot. I want to read him. And I broke down and then I gave you a look.
When he said that, I was like, good, because I want to be the character that hooks up with that Ruby girl.
Well, that could have been a good outcome.
So I think it worked out with that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, beat that.
Hi there.
She's the Impala, and it's awesome.
I got my high beams on now.
I see that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
You want to sit beside me again too?
Tap the brakes.
Slam the brakes.
Okay, I actually have a very serious question. I'm currently working on getting into film, and I completely respect and think your relationship with your wives is beautiful. You seem like amazing fathers, and I want to
Keep going.
And
Don't stop there.
And I want to be able to raise a family while working in film and working 14-hour days. All my professors tell me it's impossible, you're not going to be able to do it. And I'm wondering how you guys do it and what advice do you have to me to do it?
That's a great question. I am, speaking just on my own guy, I'm incredibly happy in my marriage and as a father. I love my wife very much, I love my kids very much, but as far as the relationship goes, you have to work at it. Like anything you care about, anything. Even if you work so well in the beginning, you have to, even if working at it just means getting on a plane after 2 hours of sleep to make sure you can see each other for a night. Even if working at it means not spending Saturday night with your son because you really just want to see your wife, because if you and your wife work, your family will work. Even if it means waking up an hour earlier to go for a walk, even though you'll now have to work on your script an hour before that. So just working at it. Work doesn't, for me, work doesn't have a bad connotation. Like if someone tells me you're going to have to work hard, I just saw Osrick's Twitter thing. It says like, I'll stop working and relax when I enjoy relaxing as much as work. I was like, that's cool. Of course, he's a little badass, so of course he thinks that, but I feel like that. Like I'm excited to work. I'm excited to work and make my relationship better, make myself a better father, a better husband. So work at it. Don't assume it's going to take care of itself, because nothing takes care of itself. Nothing.
You know, I'm going to use that question and take an opportunity here. How much time do we have? Libby, anybody? About a half? All right, perfect. You know, there's somebody that has been in this industry a lot longer than he and I probably combined. But has been with the show since day one, and I wanted to have him come up here and answer a few of these questions. He's probably much more eloquent than we could. So, ladies and gentlemen, the real Bobby Singer.
Yeah.
You want to know?
Bob, how do you balance it? What? Speed it up? That's the direction. Jesse.
And we understand.
How do you balance professional life?